This is about a visit to the tomb of Humayun, who was a Mughal emperor, and it was completed in 1572. A really interesting place to go and see. It's been in ruins for ages, but it's been subject to a great amount of renovation, not all of it complete. And it not only contains Humayun's tomb, it contains the tomb of many of his relatives, and indeed there's a separate building to his favourite barber. But the gardens are very, very nice to walk around. It's quite a peaceful place, and when I was there it was very, very quiet. But the architecture is quite stunning, and especially these sort of sandstone friezes, for want of a better word, they're absolutely amazing things. And on the way out there's another tomb being renovated. In fact, it was built 20 years before Humayun's tomb, and from the artist's impression, it's going to be quite spectacular when it's finished. So this is where we are now, Humayun's tomb, again built by the Mughals. So we're just approaching Humayun's tomb. It's a World Heritage Site. He was the second Mughal emperor, and this is where he was buried. So I'm just making my way through the main gate into the gardens. Lots of people taking photographs. There it is. It's quite magnificent. It's all right, but the trouble with these places is they tend to be overshadowed by the Taj Mahal, which of course is built in white marble. Nevertheless, it's a wonderful building in its own right, is this. Well, there is this second emperor, or he might have been the first emperor, but he was the second Mughal. Probably the first emperor, I can't remember. This is his tomb, Mr. Humayun, in Delhi. We'll go and have a wander around the balcony in a moment. We're surrounded by this lovely parkland and lots of nice trees, and it's relatively quiet. Well, in fact, for Delhi, it's very quiet. With it being a sort of dry season, everything's covered with a layer of dust, even the leaves on the trees. So this is a quiet entrance opposite the main entrance. The steps are quite steep, but there's a handrail there which makes it not too bad. So this is inside the mausoleum. This is his tomb, or his sarcophagus, or I suspect it's just a large stone. He'll be buried way down below that. And inside there's this design repeated all the way around. And again, these beautiful sandstone screens. See over there, magnificent. And in addition, you've got a sort of side mausoleums, if you like, with again these sarcophagi or gravestones inside. And there are several of these. I don't know who they are or what they're about, but I'm sure you can find out on the internet. And everywhere, these tremendous carved screens. The sandstone is quite hard, nevertheless, if they broke it, it was scrapped, and they started again. And this one has been built in two halves. Just below the arch there is a joint. What skill to build a thing like, carve a thing like that. Well, lots of irrigation channels in this park. This covers about 38 acres. They were renovated in the early 2000s, but not all of them are working. Some of them, as you can see down there, are still dry. But the ones in the main part, they're still running. It just adds a sort of sense of peace and calm to the place. There are other structures inside this park. This is called the Barber's Tomb, and there's a sort of grave of a man and woman inside. You get these quite magnificent red sandstone screens carved out of one piece of flat sandstone. Amazing. And there are two sort of, I call them tombs, but two limestone sarcophagi here. I don't suppose they've got bodies in, but gravestones, horizontal gravestones. Isn't that just a wonderful, solid, one solid piece of sandstone? And another one above it, and all the way around. And unfortunately, this one has been damaged. Can you imagine carving that? Tremendous. Rocks everywhere, you know, chipping away in the trees. They get really annoyed with one another. This one's standing stock still because it's seen me. And it's just crouched down. They're amusing little things, they're really found them everywhere. Toilet prices. It's 100 rupees to a pound, so 1 rupee is about 1 penny. Just outside Humayun's tomb is this other tomb here, Isa Khan tomb. It was built slightly before the other tomb, 20 years beforehand. But the information is there. You can use your pause button and the plus button if you want to read a little bit more about it. This is the tomb itself. Unfortunately the sun's in the wrong direction, but we don't have time to wander around it. We're in a bit of a rush to get to a restaurant. But it's been renovated. It's always been beautifully coloured at some time, but all that's gone. But they seem to be renewing the colouring on the small domes. So this is what it will eventually look like when it's finished. There's a bloke up there welding it, and the whole place is... It's raining sparks down here. red hot molten iron coming down here at the ground. You're walking past, you get one of these down your neck.
nobody here to warn you.